Vince, you're late. Vince, why are you always late? Listen. I'm not late. You're early. Time goes on my time. You know what? I am time. It's so true. Anyways, tonight on the Vince Dao Show, Nikki Haley endorses Disney. She is pro-Disney. I'm not kidding about this. Biden's new team of TikTokers is now in force and is creating cringe. We will react to that. And is Tucker Carlson being blackmailed? We'll give you that whole story here. Wait, what the heck's going on? Oh, my bad. Okay. Anyways, stay tuned. All right, let's start the show. Complicated business. It's so true. All right. And we are live tonight from the great state of Florida. None of you saw or heard anything. Whatever that was did not just happen. Welcome to the Vince Dao Show, Galaxy Brainers. I am your host, Vince Dao, and before we begin, everyone be sure to leave a like and subscribe right now to the channel if you are new. We do this show live every Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, so be sure to join us every day we go live. As I said on Tuesday, I did not do a show last night because I had an exam, but almost done with the semester here, so this summer I have no excuses, okay? I can't, no show tonight, sorry for being late. So very soon you guys will be able to insult me fully for starting the show late, canceling shows. But anyways, welcome to the show. Let's get the stream to 50 likes. And if you want to support tonight, or you have a question or comment that you want read or answered, feel free to send it in via a super chat. I will be checking the super chats regularly throughout the night. And on that front, I got something new to show you guys. Okay, hold on. Let me pull it up. We now have speech to text. Sorry, still a little bit sick. We now have speech to text. So you're like, Vince, what does that mean? Well, this okay, I just got to show you. Check this out. So if you donate through Streamlabs, which I've been trying to figure out a way to get you guys to actually donate on Streamlabs, because I understand YouTube is very easy, but like I've said, YouTube takes 30% of the revenue, right? And so you're giving a lot of money to big tech. My cut is getting screwed. And so I've been trying to encourage the alternative processor thing, which is the pinned link in the live chat. Go click on it to donate there. But I was like, okay, I need to give them an incentive to actually donate on Streamlabs. Well, check this out. So we now have the speech to text thing set up. So watch this. So let's pull up a Streamlabs donation from the other night or something. Okay. So if I do this, it should... Look at that. Where's the speech to text? Okay, hold on. We got to fix it. It did not speak. It did not speak for some reason. Hold on. I think I know how to fix this. It shouldn't take too long. What happened to the speech to text? Or text to speech, I should say. It says it's on. All right, very strange. It should be working. Wait. I think I got it. Okay, let's try this now. I think we got this. Where's the voice? As soon as I go live, it just stops doing the voice. Okay, we'll figure it out. But point being, if you donate on Streamlabs, it shows up on the screen. Look, there's a dinosaur. Huh? Do you get a dinosaur if you donate? How many streamers do you know where if you donate, you can make a dinosaur? And it's supposed to have speech to text, like I said. I don't know why it's not right now. But yeah, so feel free to support here on YouTube or on Streamlabs. Again, pinned link. Now it's just going off like crazy. But yeah, okay. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, see, it should have the voice. Let me check these super chats. Very chaotic start to the show tonight. Why does it keep... Okay, now it won't stop. Now, what is happening? What is going on? Shut up. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, I don't know what's happening now. But okay, ladies and gentlemen, let me check the super. Why does it keep doing that? All right, I'm just gonna mute this for a second. I don't know why it keeps doing that. Anyways, dollar for $5. Thank you very much. Says I got a steak on the smoker. It's gonna be scrumptious, very epic. Also, I flew today. I listened to Mark Knopfler's song called Cleaning My Gun, based, very epic. Thank you for the $5. Dollar for dollar. Let's see, Zachary for $5 says thank goodness for AC and water. Today was nice, warm, and sunny, unless of course you had to sit in a truck for 10 hours for work. Well, you gotta make the money. You gotta make the money somehow. Thank you guys for these super chats. Okay, sorry for such a terrible start to the show. But with that said, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into the actual show tonight. I don't know why it kept going off. Okay, first of all, the speech-to-text wasn't working, and now it just won't shut up. I don't know what's happening. But let's just get into the show tonight and hope the speech-to-text thing starts working again. But again, if you want to support tonight, folks, again, pinned link there on Streamlabs. Okay, let's get into the actual show. My goodness. My goodness. Worst start to the show in the history of this show. But anyways, okay, into our first story tonight. Is Fox News threatening blackmail against Tucker Carlson? We're going to respond to those reports, allegations in a second. We're going to kind of discuss whether or not we think it's actually true. But first, I want to play this. So last night, Tucker Carlson, and we would have covered it on the show last night, but obviously we did not do a show last night. Last night, Tucker Carlson finally broke his silence with this video here for the public. Let's take a listen. If the mouse will work. There you go.
Good evening, it's Tucker Carlson. One of the first things you realize when you step outside the noise for a few days is how many genuinely nice people there are in this country. Kind and decent people, people who really care about what's true, and a bunch of hilarious people also.
And T-Rexes on VinceDao's stream that won't stop bothering him. Okay, anyway.
So, a lot of those. It's got to be the majority of the population, even now. So that's heartening. The other thing you notice when you take a little time off is how unbelievably stupid most of the debates you see on television are. They're completely irrelevant. They mean nothing. In 5 years, we won't even remember that we had them. Trust me, as someone who's participated. And yet at the same time, and this is the amazing thing, the undeniably big topics, the ones that will define our future, get virtually no discussion at all. War, civil liberties, emerging science, demographic change, corporate power, natural resources. When was the last time you heard a legitimate debate about any of those issues? It's been a long time. Debates like that are not permitted in American media. Both political parties and their donors have reached consensus on what benefits them, and they actively collude to shut down any conversation about it. Suddenly, the United States looks very much like a one-party state. That's a depressing realization, but it's not permanent. Our current orthodoxies won't last. They're brain dead. Nobody actually believes them. Hardly anyone's life is improved by them. This moment is too inherently ridiculous to continue, and so it won't. The people in charge know this. That's why they're hysterical and aggressive. They're afraid. They've given up persuasion. They're resorting to force. But it won't work. When honest people say what's true, calmly and without embarrassment, they become powerful. At the same time, the liars who've been trying to silence them shrink, and they become weaker. That's the iron law of the universe. True things prevail. Where can you still find Americans saying true things? There aren't many places left, but there are some, and that's enough. As long as you can hear the words, there is hope. See you soon.
So, it's pretty cryptic for sure, right? If you read between the lines, you can kind of tell what he's getting at, which is that, you know, there are a lot of liars out there who are trying to take him out for telling the truth, but he basically proclaims that they will not win, and quote, at the end, obviously, see you soon, right? By the way, this video has almost 20 million or 60 million, depending on how you want to count Twitter views alone. Okay, so let's just say bare minimum 20 million views. Compare that to the best of Fox News nights, which at most are in the hundreds of thousands, maybe up to 1 million. And, you know, Fox News Tonight, that news show replacing Tucker Carlson, absolutely in the dumpster fire. So it does go to show you, right? Remember what I said the other night about how the internet has basically surpassed television in terms of global influence? Just pointing that out. That video has 20 million views on Twitter. So, but anyways, now, with that said, there is some speculation that the reason why this message was so cryptic is because Tucker Carlson allegedly is being quote-unquote muzzled by Fox News, which is probably true to a degree because I guarantee you he's under some type of NDA, right? Non-disclosure agreement. It's pretty standard for any network contract to do that. It's a normal industry practice. When you sign on to some type of media thing like this, NDAs are pretty common. And so, of course, there is a degree to which, you know, Tucker Carlson cannot say or do certain things against the company, non-compete, whatever. But there's this other rumor going around that Fox News has some type of blackmail file on Tucker that they're holding against him. Jimmy Kimmel made this suggestion on his show, and a few different sources in the media sphere are claiming this. And, you know, to be honest, I don't really know if that's true for certain. To me, it seems like a lot of hearsay, right? Fox News has publicly denied this, but, you know, who knows? It could very well be true that there is this blackmail file on Tucker. But here's my thing. Again, I like I said, I don't know if it's true. I don't really believe that it's true, but let's pretend for a moment, for the sake of argument, that it is real that there is this blackmail file against Tucker. Okay? And, right? Who cares? Because, first of all, what could there possibly be against Tucker that is particularly all that incriminating or bad? Because let's say for a moment it was something super bad. Let's say, I don't know, Tucker Carlson is involved in a pedophile child sex trafficking ring or something like absolutely crazy and criminal, whatever. I seriously doubt that that is true, but for a moment, let's pretend hypothetically like it is. So if that were the case, then you mean to tell me that Fox News knowingly employed someone who was running a pedophile ring, right? Again, you know, I don't think that's true. I think Tucker is a good guy. I genuinely don't believe he has any massive skeletons in his closet. But if he did, and if Fox News had evidence and blackmail of that, then that would mean that Fox News was knowingly employing Tucker Carlson while he had this on him or that on him. So in my opinion, again, I'm not saying any of this is true, but if it is true, then that would make Fox News in many ways look just as bad as Tucker Carlson if the blackmail were anything all that serious, because that means you were protecting him, you were platforming him, and then only now when you have this falling out, oh, did you know Tucker Carlson is this or that? Again, I don't buy it, but I'm just pointing out if this stuff were true, if liberals really believe this, then, you know, those would be things to consider. So let's instead for a moment, I guess, take another angle on this, which is that there is real blackmail potentially on Tucker, but it's fairly benign. Right? It's something along the lines of, I don't know, he said a racist joke once privately or something. Okay, well, in that case, I would say, who cares? Right? And I'd have to imagine if there is blackmail on Tucker, it's incredibly stupid and petty stuff like that. I mean, if you're going to dig through a guy's basically entire life and something like, oh, he made a joke 10 years ago is all that you can find, I think the guy actually is pretty clean, right? If we're going to drag everyone's name through the mud and you can't find anything all that serious, it means he's a pretty clean guy. And, you know, so I don't know, but even if hypothetically, let's say the news came out that Tucker Carlson, I don't know, maybe he had an affair. Let's say that, which, again, I don't believe to be true, but let's say hypothetically this were the blackmail on Tucker Carlson. Okay, then that would be bad. Shame on him. But still, let's say even if they brought him, and they do this all the time, even if that were the blackmail, this is coming from who? The elite, right? I said the same thing during the Madison Cawthorn scandal. It's like, yes, the sexual improprieties of so-and-so are not good, but the sexual improprieties of our elites and of the rulers, right, is far, far worse than whatever blackmail they try to use against people who dissent from the system in almost every single case, right? We just never hear about it because there's obviously a narrative. There are obviously certain people who are protected and their dirt and their blackmail is protected. And so oftentimes you have to assume if supposed dirt or supposed scandal comes out on someone who is countercultural, there's usually a reason for that. It's not just a total coincidence. But of course, they will do this and then they will moralize about it. They will like virtue signal about it. They will say, how can you support someone who's blank and so when you knew this all along and you only come out with it, when so-and-so person is now doing something counterintuitive to you, even though the skeletons in your closet are way worse than so-and-so person, right? Many and all such cases. And again, none of this is me saying that I think the dirt, quote unquote, on Tucker Carlson is real. I'm just saying that if it is real, there's no angle here to which I could really imagine it being anything all that bad or anything beyond the realm of normal stuff that everyone can say they have in their past history, like making an offensive joke, right? Because again, if it were all that serious, Fox, you're just as incriminated in that because you would have been covering it up, right? But I don't think it's that at all. I strongly believe that, like Tucker kind of alluded to, there is a cloud of lies here against Tucker, and it's slowly all going to be exposed. In fact, that is already happening because, for one, we talked the other night about this lawsuit where a former female producer of Tucker's filed a lawsuit about misconduct in the workplace or whatever. Well, it turns out that she had never even met Tucker Carlson. Okay, this came out, I believe, yesterday. So they're using this whole lawsuit to attack and slander Tucker, this and that. He mistreats women. She didn't even work with Tucker Carlson in the office, right? They never even met each other. And so that's the type of stuff they were throwing at the guy. Some woman who never met Tucker Carlson claims he did not have an environment in the workplace that was friendly to women. All right. Okay. And so, the fact that this is all they've been able to come up with, either, his employees have made jokes or, his dad is rich or something like that. It really does go to show you that actually the truth of the matter is Tucker Carlson probably is a guy with I'm not saying he's perfect, but probably a pretty clean, actually, personal life. If this is all you can come up with, right? Meanwhile, we have actual people on the other side who worship Satan, right? You have people who worship the devil running our country, and I'm supposed to care about any of these things? So Tucker Carlson's producers made offensive jokes. We need to cancel him. It's all nonsense. They don't have anything against Tucker because Tucker is an honest and genuine man by all accounts. He is a happily married man with several children, actually living out in many ways the lifestyle that we all promote and we all strive for, and he himself is promoting that lifestyle to young men, which none of his haters can say. None of the people opposed to Tucker Carlson can say, I have a big and happy and healthy family, and I am encouraging young people to pursue that lifestyle for themselves. On the left or the right, literally none of Tucker Carlson's enemies can say this. Abby Grossberg cannot say it. These ugly fat feminists can't say it. The neocons who, Tucker Carlson has been, they can't say it. None of them can say it because Tucker is happy. He has a great family. And, the people who don't like him cannot say these things. So what can you say to stop a guy who is, clearly sort of all your insecurities in a person, but he projects them you project them onto him. Virtually nothing. So I am doubling down. We stand with Tucker Carlson. And as for Fox News, that's all she wrote. And, you have this sort of desperate war going on now. Oh, there's a blackmail file on him. Okay, then let's see it then. I'd actually be curious because I virtually guarantee you the actual dirt that they would be able to find on Tucker Carlson, it doesn't seem to be a lot. Again, if what they're throwing at him is like, oh, but employees of his were not nice to women. That means there actually is not a lot on the guy. So, anyways. Michael Lochner says, Tucker not only promoting conservatism, but also living the conservative lifestyle. Exactly, and this is a thing that I particularly and especially respect about Tucker Carlson as a man, right? Because he is a guy who is, happily married, only been through one marriage, which a lot of just people in the United States these days can't say. And he has, 4 children, 5 children. They're all doing very well. They're, first of all, not a lot of people in the conservative space can actually say that, including myself, which obviously I'm 20 years old, so I suppose is a little bit different. But there is something inherent about that you have to respect, whether that's Tucker Carlson, Matt Walsh, whoever, the people in our movement that actually are living out the lifestyle that we always proclaim. And there's something about the wisdom of a father, is there not? There is something about listening to a person who has children and who has raised a bunch of children and has gained the wisdom of raising that children that, inherently make me want to listen or trust that person more than someone who does not have a bunch of kids. Obviously, I say that in a hypocritical way because I don't have any kids. I'm not married. But again, I'm 20 years old. So, it's like, what are you going to do? Oh, let's go start one now. Okay, you're trying, but that's not how the world works these days. But no, in all seriousness, right? And like I will reiterate, very few of the dissenters of Tucker Carlson can say this, right? Does Abby Grossberg have kids? I don't know. Probably not. If she does, I virtually guarantee you she's divorced or whatever, whatever it is, whatever it is, you can tell. I reading just the things she's saying, obviously just mad, angry feminist and many such cases. So, this is absolutely true. All right, well, before I go on to the next segment, let me try to fix the speech to text thing on these super chats, okay? Let me try to get this working. All right. Because I'm trying to incentivize the and by the way, if you want to send in super chats now, feel free to, because I will read them. But I got to get this thing working, okay? I spent the whole day setting up the speech to text. It's text to speech. Why do I always say speech to text? It's text to speech, okay? It's not okay, I'm stupid. Anyways, it's text to speech. But I set that up here, and it's not even working. So hold on, let me see. Let's see. I can send a test donation. So let's see. If the okay, now the website's not even working. Now. That's fantastic. Oh, there we go. Okay, there we go.
John donated $57.
Okay, now it works.
This is a test donation for $57.
I don't know why it wasn't working before. Now it works. Okay, you guys see that? Look at this. You got the dinosaur. Look at that.
John donated $6.
Thank you, John.
This is a test donation for $6.
I'm gonna have fun with this. Listen, look at this. Isn't that cool? So if you send a donation, again, only through Streamlabs. If you send it on YouTube, we don't have this set up. But if you send through the Streamlabs link, we got the dinosaur. Look at this. See?
John donated $26.
Boom.
This is a test donation for $26.
And of course, so you may think the voice that's reading that is just, oh, that's a standard AI voice. No, that's actually my secretary, okay? That's my secretary, Joanna. She reads the super chat. So again, if you donate through the Streamlabs link, she will read your dono, okay? She will read the super chats. Vince, since when do you have a secretary? I do. That's her voice. That's her voice. Do you need to hear it again? Joanna, could you please read the test donation again? Thank you. Thank you, Joanna.
John donated $32. This is a test donation for $32.
Thank you, Joanna. I appreciate. See, my secretary's not a feminist. She's not a girl boss. She's not an Abby Grossberg who's gonna sue me. Okay, she's cool. Okay, she's about it. But yeah, if you donate through the Streamlabs link, my assistant, my secretary, will read your dono. It's so true. Okay, let's see if we actually got any Streamlabs donations. We got one. All right, here we go. All right, here's the first test one on stream. First ever historic text-to-speech super chat on the Vince Dow Show from Dollar for Dollar. All right, let's do this.
$4 donated
works.
$5.
It works. Let's
Leftists
go.
will be 3x vaxxed, have a J shirt on, 2x masked, and have a hammer and sickle tattoo, and they will say I'm brainwashed because I can sing Brass Monkey with 100% accuracy on karaoke.
It's so true, dollar for dollar. Thank you, Joanna, by the way, for reading the super chat. Everyone, can we get thank you, Joanna, in the chat? But yeah, it's so true, dollar for dollar. They will have all of those things and say, oh, well, you like music, you fly a plane, you must be brainwashed. So true. Thank you for the super chat. All right, let's see. Did we get anything here on YouTube? We did not. Hold on. Okay, one more time. Sorry, tonight's stream has been so unprofessional, but I have to. I'm trying to get the speech to text thing working. Text to speech. Sorry. All right. Again, if you want Joanna to read the super chat, donate at that link that I just put in the live chat. Okay. All right, very cool. Okay, I'm like a kid in a candy store with this thing, because it's like, there's a dinosaur. Oh, there's a dinosaur. Oh, I like the dinosaur. It's true though. That also, you can send gifts, by the way. I don't know if I told you guys that. So you can send gifts. There's like a thing on there to send it to, but the standard one is the dinosaur.
John donated $76. This is a test donation for $76.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Joanna. All right, anyways, let's continue on here with our stories. I feel like we should just do a whole stream where we just play with the speech-to-text thing. It's too much fun. I have way too much fun with it. But, all right, anyways, in all seriousness, let's move on now to our Nikki Haley story. On it's a historic stream. We got text-to-speech going for the first time, and we have the worst show in the history of the channel going. So it's round of applause. Historic show tonight. All right, anyways, on to our next story here. In all seriousness, it is often said that conservatism is progressivism driving the speed limit. You've probably heard this slogan before. Of course, things do not have to be that way, right? But the reason that this saying exists is because it is true. In many cases, conservatives, instead of, being conservatives, we will compromise with the left and essentially offer a worldview that is a more moderate form of liberalism, aka, oh, everything is fine, but just don't groom children, but do everything else that you're doing leading up to that, instead of conserving or defending any actual real values. Now, luckily, all of that is starting to change because conservatives nowadays are beginning to fight the culture war. We're beginning to realize, right, that the battle for the soul of America is not just about policy, that the communist infiltration of our country is just as cultural and spiritual as it is political. We're beginning to realize that there is a reason our enemies are trying to push certain social values on our youth. There is a reason why they are wielding institutions, public and private, against ideas and people that are conservatives. Most of us understand this in 2023, but apparently someone who does not understand that is the girl boss presidential candidate, the one and only Nikki Haley, who went out this week and, I'm not kidding or exaggerating this, defended Disney. Okay? Yeah, the company who was, and still is, trying to enable the grooming of children with LGBT ideology. Yeah, that Disney. She went out on Tuesday and attacked Ron DeSantis for going after Disney, and even went so far as to invite Disney to move its business to South Carolina. Okay, I'm not kidding about this. Nikki Haley went out this week and invited Disney to move to her state. Let's take a listen.
Haley, I want to ask you about what could be another Republican candidate in the field, and that is Ron DeSantis. We just learned a few moments ago that Disney is now suing the Florida governor for alleging political effort to hurt their business. We've all been watching this back and forth for quite some time. This is obviously dramatically escalating the feud between Disney and Ron DeSantis. They're alleging that the Republican governor has waged a, quote, relentless campaign to weaponize government power over the company. What is your reaction to that, as we still have yet to see him jump officially into the race?
You know, as governor, I took a double-digit unemployment state and I turned it into an economic powerhouse. Businesses were my partners, because if you take care of your businesses, you take care of your economy takes care of the people, and everyone wins. And so that's the way we dealt with it. South Carolina was a very anti-woke state. It still is. And if Disney would like to move their hundreds of thousands of jobs to South Carolina and bring the billions of dollars with them, I'll let them know. I'll be happy to meet them in South Carolina and introduce them to the governor and the legislature that would welcome it.
You know, words cannot express how much this woman gets on my nerves. I mean that, okay? And, you know, honestly, I know there's a lot of right-wing people in the media who like her and prop her up. I get it. She's younger. She's a woman, all this stuff. And I'm probably burning some bridges by saying this, but seriously, and I mean this. I mean this. Without exaggeration, she is genuinely one of the worst people in our party. In fact, she might be the worst person in our party. In fact, I would go so far as to argue that there is very little functional difference between Nikki Haley and Joe Biden on social issues. I'm serious about that. Because on every single social issue imaginable, she has caved to the left. I dare anyone who disagrees, find me like one example where Nikki Haley actually stood the ground of the right on anything. So she was the first one, right, to take down these statues in South Carolina as governor, and she took down the flag in 2020 during Black Lives Matter. So keep in mind, this was late May or early June 2020. So this was when terrorists were running across the country, burning down everything, committing insurrection in the streets. She said that on Twitter that the death of George Floyd had to be, and I quote, personal and painful for everyone. Those were her words. That's real. I don't have it up on the screen, but if you don't believe me, go and advanced search that on Twitter. Search up those keywords. That is real. She said that the death of George Floyd, again, while people were out there wreaking havoc, burning down the country, her words were that this has to be personal and painful to everyone for us to overcome it as a country. So you have that, pro-BLM, caves to that mob, cave to the mob before that. And then, without even being asked, here you have this, right? Hey, Disney, my home state will happily accept your 70,000 plus jobs to Florida if you want to leave Florida. We've got great weather, great people, and it's always a great day in South Carolina. South Carolina is not woke, but we're not sanctimonious about it either. We're not sanctimonious about it either. Okay. So first of all, the fact that Nikki Haley, of all people, would call anyone else sanctimonious is highly ironic. If you don't know what sanctimonious means, that means like, you know, high and mighty, holier than thou. This is the person calling anyone else sanctimonious. Nikki, you are the most sanctimonious person in the Republican Party. And it's not close. You are genuinely the most pretentious, holier than thou, girl bossy, high and mighty, and annoying person in this entire party. The whole concerned mom voice that you do on all your speeches, nails on a chalkboard, okay? Your book cover, as you see on the screen, this is the person who's going to call anyone else sanctimonious. You know, arms crossed, girl boss pose, with all due respect, defending America with grit and grace and second wave feminism. Again, pretentious and off-putting. Every attempt that you've ever made to be relatable and classy simply comes off as sanctimonious. Perhaps instead of calling anyone else sanctimonious, you should mount off your moral high horse and get back to reality. That's number one, okay? If anyone is sanctimonious, it is Nikki Haley. Nikki the Sanctimonious, okay? New name. Number two, Everything that you said here was completely brain dead. Oh, yeah, Disney is an evil and immoral company that is pushing disgusting things on America's youth, but they bring jobs and money, like capitalism, right? So you're basically saying out loud that jobs and money are more important to you than the fact that Disney wants to groom children. You are running on the presidential platform that corporate profit is more important than protecting children. Corporate profit is more important than patriotism. Corporate profit is more important to you than standing for literally any values whatsoever. And, think about this too. If Nikki Haley would invite an evil company like Disney into her state for the sake of money, who knows what she would invite to the United States of America for the sake of money if she were president? Think about that. Because she's telling you a lot right now. This happens, and what does she say? Hey, if they want to come to South Carolina, they'll bring jobs. Okay, so if that's the case, hey, all those people pouring across the border, millions a year, well, there's no need to close the border. They contribute to the economy, don't they? Well, it is true. They do contribute to the economy. They are doing something. But, according to Nikki Haley, that's all that matters. Values don't matter. The effect on our youth or our culture or our country, none of that matters. The only thing that matters, in her words, jobs and billions of dollars. So if that's the case, then you can write it off, right? You can. It's in the books. You can already assume that on the issue of immigration into our country, she will excuse literally any of it and all of it. Why? It brings jobs, doesn't it? It brings money. It brings corporate profit. A company like BlackRock, hey, that's an American company. BlackRock, how dare you question that? They create jobs. Who cares about anything else? What's even to stop something like foreign investment in capital? Oh, like Chinese companies buying up real estate in America? Well, in some way or another, that's helping the economy. It creates profit, jobs. That would be Nikki Haley as president, and she's outright telling you that right now. Now, luckily, we're never going to have to find out the full answer to this question, just how much Nikki Haley would sell out the United States for the sake of jobs, because, she's never going to be president. It is not 1982. Ronald Reagan is no longer president. And this whole corporate profit over everything mentality has not appealed to Republican voters for some time. Most Republican voters, it's not that we hate capitalism. It's not that we hate any concept of a free market. It's that we want to see those interests balanced with an actual healthy sense of patriotism and, protecting children from being groomed. I think that's a pretty big thing. But that is not to say that Nikki Haley does not have her defenders on this issue. Now, most of them are liberals. You go and look on that tweet. It's getting massively ratioed. The only people, for the most part, defending Nikki Haley are outright liberals, which should tell you a lot. That is what Nikki Haley is, like I said, indistinguishable from Joe Biden on social issues. But you do have some right-wing comments like this. This guy replied to me saying, DeSantis's feud with Disney will sink him. He's choosing to die on a hill that he can't win. Republicans are supposed to be small government and pro-business, but he never got the memo. You guys got that? Ron DeSantis going after Disney because they were interfering in Florida politics and trying to, groom children? Well, don't you know Republicans are supposed to be small government? Again, my friend, as I said last time, I was not aware that it's 1982. I thought it was 2023. I thought Ronald Reagan was not president. I thought we'd evolved politically by several decades. But, thank you for reminding me. Apparently that is the case. But, besides the fact that this is completely out of touch and stupid, it is also totally disingenuous. It's totally disingenuous because you have all these principled conservative types screaming about this, right? Oh, Ron DeSantis going after Disney, that's big government. That's big gooberment. Actually, no, it's not, right? Because what he was trying to do was to strip Disney of its autonomous economic zone given by the government. AKA what he was doing was taking away special protections and regulations on a company by big government and open up a free and fair market again, okay? By definition, the whole land lease deal that Florida had with Disney is corporatism. Corporatism is by definition big government, okay? So it's a totally dishonest comment. And then, you know, I think he followed up by basically saying, okay, but what about free speech? What about Disney's free speech? You can't be stripping away economic benefits from Disney on partisan lines and, you know, political disagreements. That's anti-free speech. Well, you know, first of all, no one is saying that Disney, like, no one is taking away Disney's right to lobby for political causes. But what is happening here is that because they are lobbying for political causes, government favoritism is being taken away. You know, you can in fact do this. And in fact, what's happening here, what DeSantis did, it's not partisan, because the general rule actually in terms of, you know, public-private partnership is that things that are funded or endorsed by the public are not supposed to be partisan, right? I mean, this is a rule that's not really enforced these days, but the actual principled standard is supposed to be that if tax dollars or benefits are going to something, and, you know, that's the taxpayer paying for it, that's the public paying for it, it's supposed to go to nonpartisan things. This is why charities that are tax exempt are not supposed to engage in partisan politics. That's the law. This is why government workers are supposed to be nonpartisan when they're on the clock, okay? Now, what Disney was doing was existing as a publicly benefited company while being partisan, while engaging in partisan politics. And it's not just a matter of, oh, they were putting out statements that we disagreed with, which I would still say, okay, who cares, strip it anyway. But still, it's not even a matter of, oh, they were saying things we disagree with. No, if you'll remember, what they were doing was getting involved in the legislative process, okay? What they literally went out there and did was say, we're going to stop the passing of the don't say gay, quote unquote, law. They went out there and said that. We're going to do everything in our power to stop the passing of a law. That's not even advocating social values at that point. That is actively engaging in partisan politics. So, if public things, Mr. Principled Conservative, Mr. I stand by principle no matter what, if nonpartisan things if public things are supposed to be nonpartisan, then by definition, Disney should be stripped of its public benefits because it is being partisan. The excuses overall are just so lame. It really just gets down to the fact that here you have a Republican politician, you know, for once in the history of our party, somewhat, I don't even think he went nearly far enough, but somewhat standing up to something, somewhat fighting the culture war in some degree. And what you have are people who are so unbelievably scared, right-wingers who are so unbelievably scared of the concept of winning, of using power, that they will find any excuse in the book to defend the child grooming company and, like, attack the actual culture war being fought here, okay? The excuses are so lame, and the bottom line is this, you know, as a matter of politics, DeSantis was absolutely right to strip Disney of its special benefits and to wield state power in the process. And any Republican who countersignals that, I don't care, is completely in the wrong. We need more of that attitude in the party, right? We need more people out here fighting the culture war, going on offense against woke capital, not less. So, Nikki Haley, in conclusion, shame on you. Shame on anyone defending Nikki Haley in this case. You are putting the corporate money of a company that is enabling child grooming over American children. And I mean that literally. So, I don't want to hear any Republican lecture anyone about parental rights or any, children, anything, while you're going to go out here and say that, actually, we should support Disney. It's ridiculous. It's a joke. All right, anyways, if you want to support the show tonight, ladies and gentlemen, feel free to send in a super chat here on YouTube or via the Streamlabs link. Let me shill the Streamlabs link in the live chat again. But again, folks, if you want it read on the speech-to-text thing, why do I keep saying that? Text-to-speech! Okay, text-to-speech. You can send it in on the Streamlabs thing. For the people who are just in the chat, who were not here for the disastrous beginning of the show, we have text-to-speech on the Streamlabs donation link now. Okay, so this is my incentive to get you to donate on there. We have, check this out. Check this out. All right, hold on. We got this.
John donated $87. This is a test donation for $87.
So if you donate on Streamlabs, a dinosaur pops up and my secretary Joanna reads the super chat. So there you go. But anyways, let's check the YouTube super chats here. I still do appreciate the donations on this site as well. Okay, let's get caught up here. I think we got one. $5 from Real Texan Politics. Thank you very much, says Disney also sued DeSantis, and something tells me Disney will win due to the sheer power of the company. Very sad. Crony capitalism is cringe. It is very cringe, and I guess it depends what court is going to hear it, but yeah, I agree. Disney most likely will probably end up winning the case. That would be my guess too, because they're a corporation. They always find a way to win, and you know, it is what it is, but at least we tried for once, I suppose. Actually, you know what? Well, in the words of, to paraphrase Andrew Jackson, who's going to enforce it? Exactly. That would be supremely based. Okay, that would be supremely based. I don't think DeSantis is there. I don't think he would do that. But, well, Vince, what about the rule of law? Listen. Okay? If a state government hypothetically just said, well, who cares? Oh, yeah, court? Screw you. Who's going to enforce? I mean, I'm just saying. Oh, yeah, rule of law, I get it. But, you know, I think we are going to hit in the point in this country one day where that's necessary. And I'm not saying it's now. You don't want to cross that Rubicon. It gets to a dangerous point where the justice system is overridden by the political system. I get it. But, you know, think about this, right? If the electoral system is tipped against us as much as it is, and that continues, eventually over time what you're going to get is all the judges in the country, like over the span of decades, would be a bunch of liberals. And like, what do you do in a country like that? I don't know. It's an open question. It's only a matter of time before we hit the level of third world justice, right? But anyways, getting caught up now on these super chats. $1 for $2. Thank you very much. Says, thoughts on Larry Elder running for president? I mean, he's not going to go anywhere, right? If I were to guess, he's probably just running for president to sort of, you know, garner some publicity, garner some attention. Which, you know, maybe I should do that one day. You know, I was thinking about this the other day, jokingly, of course. But I was like, you know, if I'm like around 35 years old, and I've kind of grown irrelevant in the media space, you know, the things aren't going too well, screw it, why don't I just announce for president, and then I'll have attention. But no, in all seriousness, I'd have to assume that's kind of what it's about. He's not really going to go all that far, obviously. Not any better than the, you know, the what's it called, the California recall, which by the way was highly disappointing. If you'll remember that recall, there was a point about a month before the California recall election where the polls actually seemed like DeSantis like Gavin Newsom might have a shot at losing. And then some could say Larry Elder made the race divisive, whatever. I'm not going to blame him for that. I don't think he was wrong inherently to get in the race, but you know, I think that was basically his shot at political office. In terms of running for president, I mean, like I said, I'm sure he'll create some buzz on his name as a result of it. And honestly, if I were to guess, that's probably what it's about. Which I don't think is inherently evil. I mean, it's fun, you know. It does seem fun to run for president, but that's kind of how I view his candidacy, at least on a personal level. But if you want to support tonight, ladies and gentlemen, feel free to send in a super chat. And again, we got the text to speech thing. I'm gonna keep shilling it. Joanna, please, Joanna, please read my super chats.
John donated $86. This is a test donation for $86.
Thank you, dear. Thank you, sweetheart. See, I can call my secretary dear and sweetheart because she's cool like that, okay? She ain't no feminist secretary who demands to be called, I'm not a secretary, I'm an office assistant. I'm a personal assistant. I'll mind you. Excuse me. Mind you, I'm a personal assistant. I'm an executive assistant. Yeah, okay. Joanna don't do that. Joanna's just I can call her secretary. I can call her dear, sweetheart, all the old school stuff, and whenever I want. Joanna, please read the super chat. Powerful.
John donated $99.
Powerful stuff.
This is a test donation for $99.
Thank you, dear. So, again, if you want to donate to the speech to text thing, text to speech, we have the donate there, okay? It's PayPal integrated, so you don't have to even put in a card. But all right, guys, thank you for the support tonight. Let's get on to the last story here. Or should we just do super chats? We're at 50 minutes. Well, it'll be fast. Okay, really quickly. Sorry tonight's show is so all over the place, okay? Things were chaotic today. And then the speech to text thing, I spent like the whole day trying to set that up. So, you know, we did not, okay, tomorrow night, if we don't have a banger of the show, then Joanna's fired. Okay, anyways, for our final story of the night here, a few weeks ago, we reported on this channel that the Biden White House was looking to set up a team of TikTok influencers to basically campaign for them and reach the Gen Z vote. Well, it turns out that some of that team, the Brandon Avengers, have now assembled, and they're now out and making TikToks. Some of you might have seen these guys, but here they are. I want to show you guys this. This is the Brandon White House TikTok influencer, DNC, whatever. This is their influencer team. So this is what they have set up to reach the youth vote.
Donald Trump, the disgraced, twice impeached, once indicted former ex-president, told 30,000 false or misleading claims through his 4-year presidency. That's over 20 a day.
And on top of that, he has multiple criminal investigations from the state of Georgia, from the Department of Justice, from the state of New York.
I think all this clearly shows that Donald Trump is the most anti-American U.S. president in history.
Okay, so, you know, the first thing I notice here is actually, like, where's the diversity? I mean, serious question. You know, this administration touts the fact that they have the first ever gay black woman secretary. That's not even a meme. Like, they actually, that's true. Press secretary. And, you know, they're the ones lecturing about how we need our ESG approved quota of, you know, 50% of your workforce has to be gay, black, trans, Apache helicopter, Autobot, Decepticon, woman, non-binary, alien, ET, Terminator, cyborg, trans, gay, black. So, you know, but you look at their TikTok team is 2 white guys. I mean, serious question here. I'm actually kind of surprised because, I mean, I'm not saying I care on a personal level, but you would think, it actually kind of baffles me. Like, where are the black people? Where's the lesbian, trans, black, queer, Autobot, Decepticon, woman of color? They're a bit lacking, and so that's the first thing I noticed. But here, let's play one more of these to show you again. This is the Biden White House campaign, whatever, TikTok team that they have set up.
This is a message to all the Republicans funded by the NRA, and this was inspired by a fantastic paper written by Chloe. Let me tell you something. Gen Z has sat by and idly watched.
I think this is actually Bryce Hall, if I'm not mistaken. This is Bryce Hall.
As our friends and our family members are killed in schools and a gun epidemic has overtaken this country. We have sat by and we have idly watched over and over and over again as you value NRA money and the right to a gun over our lives. But this is what you do not understand. We are no longer watching. We are now voting. We are now in the streets, and I would be scared.
Bryce Hall is not happy. Why is Bryce Hall screaming at me?
Your time has come, and 2024 will be ugly. We are over this. Martin was a 14-year-old boy at Stoneman Douglas High School. He wanted to grow up and be in the Navy. He got shot and killed. You took away his right to be safe in school and grow up with life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And I promise you, you should be scared for 2024 because we are coming. We are coming.
Okay. Well, okay. We are a nation under hostile occupation by theater kids. You ever notice that? You ever notice every single Gen Z liberal political activist gains attention by just being an overdramatic, emotional performer, right? You have Greta Thunberg. How dare you? How dare you? You have David Hogg. He got his career by yelling. You have Martin Luther Queen in Tennessee, or I think his name is Justin Pearson. That's his nickname. His real name is Martin Luther Queen. All of them. It's a regime of theater kids. So I think that's the explanation.
Donald
for
Trump,
like
the
this.
disgraced.
This is a message to all the Republicans funded by the NRA, and this was
And then of course, you have Dylan Mulvaney. Dylan Mulvaney, by definition, is a theater kid. But, I will say, though, in all fairness, as stupid and as clownish as it is, what the Biden admin or campaign or whatever is financing this is doing here is smart. They may have not necessarily picked the best, but maybe they did, who knows? But it's still a fundamentally smart thing that they're doing. Like, I see someone in chat said, well, why are we taking TikTok seriously? See, but that's part of the problem, though, is it not? Because, say what you will, but they're making a serious play here for the youth vote, for the Gen Z vote, and to turn them out and to reach them, right? The reality of the situation is, as big of clowns as these guys are, they're on TikTok, they're on the platforms of the youth, and they're reaching not thousands, they are reaching millions and millions of kids every single day. And I've said it on previous streams, and I'll say it again, just in general on the whole issue of influencer and influencer media, where is the GOP on this? Nowhere to be found, right? Now you have, they're actually lucky that they have, obviously, people like me, right? No, I'm not saying that in an arrogant way. I mean, I genuinely mean people like me, right? Young people going out here talking about politics. But, we're not on any GOP payroll or whatever. And they're also lucky that they have organizations, right? They have, your Turning Points, PragerU, YAF, all that stuff that is designed to, do this stuff. But seriously, where is the GOP? Where is any serious action on that front? And you might say, oh, well, Vince, that's because the Gen Z is not a serious constituency for the GOP. Yes, that is true. That is true to an extent. Obviously, the young generations lean more left. But also, I've said this before and I'll say it again. I think there is genuinely an untapped base within Gen Z that the GOP just doesn't get out to vote, right? I genuinely don't think we're as liberal as the millennials. But Vince, the polls say, yes, but who's answering the polls? Who's actually showing up to vote? My whole point is that all of these, frat guys, red pill people, fans of Fresh and Fit, whatever it is, these people would all vote Republican if you handed a ballot in front of them, but there is no culture in that sphere of Gen Z of, hey, you gotta vote, you gotta be politically involved. Where on the other side, the hyper woke Hollywood pop culture side of things, which is, the other half of our generation, it's a big thing. And then what are the Democrats doing? They're going out there and saying, let's harness that, right? Okay, we're gonna pay you, we're gonna help you go make content to reach our side of the youth, right? Whereas the GOP, we don't even think about these things. Oh, the young people are stupid, Sonny. I mean, I get it, they are. But also at the same time, I understand you're not, I don't expect, if we get our act together, we'll win 51% of Gen Z in 2024. I'm not saying that, no one is saying that. But let's also be realistic about this. At some point, someone has to start reaching the younger generation, do they not? Because you cannot rely on the vote of old people forever, because what happens to old people? It's a fact of life. They die. Eventually they pass away, right? It's true, right? That's what happens. And so, at the same time that's happening, every single year, more and more young people turn 18, and those who are older than 18, more and more of them become like voting age or involved in politics. Because that's another aspect, right? Not everyone who turns 18 actually votes, but more and more every single year, younger people are more involved in politics, and the Democrats are making sure that happens. And so, as ridiculous as this is, and it also does go to show you that it's easy to beat, right? You have to give Biden some degree of credit. At least they're thinking, not Biden, but, his handlers, at least they're thinking about this stuff. The GOP, to some degree, that crazy lunatic screaming on the screen is right, because there is a time bomb ticking against the GOP, and it's driven by Gen Z, right? And like I said, I don't think that has to be inevitable. I think there is a significant portion of our generation that it would vote Republican if you gave a ballot in front of them. And I'm not just saying that because I just believe it. I'm talking about the popularity of, fraternity culture, fresh and fit culture, red pill culture, all that stuff. I'm just saying those people, I guarantee you, none of them vote. None of them are like politically educated, right? And regardless, even if that sphere of our generation didn't exist, I would still say you have to somehow figure out how to make inroads, right? The GOP doesn't do that. They don't take it seriously. Well, okay. Again, let's hope, all you boomers, don't pass away, okay? Stay alive till 150. We need you, obviously. But it's like, what happens when the time bomb ticks? I'm not saying we're going to red pill everyone overnight, but at least if we spend several years trying to make inroads with young people, we'll reach some. At least there's some seeds planted. And who knows, maybe when they're older, a little bit more balanced out over time, it'll kind of skew the whole situation in our direction. But we can't even do that if we don't try, right? And so, that's my thing on this. As stupid as they are, as ridiculous as the theater kids are, you do have to at least point out that party is trying institutionally to reach young people, and ours is not. So it's easy to laugh at this guy. It's easy to laugh at Dash Dabrowski. Don't you know Republicans are good? But the GOP is crickets, right? Just something to think about. But anyways, guys, that wraps up our main segments of the show. We will go now to super chats. You know what? I'll do a 2-hour show tonight. Why not? We'll do 2 hours because I didn't do a show last night, so I'll make up the time. So we'll do a 2-hour show tonight. So the next hour chat is yours. I will read your super chats, answer your questions. So if you have a question or comment that you want read and answered, feel free to send it in via a super chat. And as usual, if you want it read on the speech to text thing, let me show the Streamlabs link one more time here. Donate for text to speech. I have to literally have speech therapy on that front. Someone needs to train me to stop saying it like that. But all right, guys, let's get caught up here on the super chats. Let me check YouTube first. All right, let's hear. I'm not sure if I read this one. Did I read the burgundy blue one? Whatever, I'll read it again. Thank you very much for the $5. Burgundy Blue says, Vince, sorry I was late for the stream. I hope you're doing well this semester / you're doing well with classes. Hey, you know what they say? C's get degrees. Let's go. Let's go. Also, hope you do well on your finals. Hope you do better than me, Burgundy Blue. Let's go. Let's go. Thank you for the $5. No, in all seriousness, I mean, my grades are okay, but they would be better if I devoted more time to school. But I don't. Because I'm a full-time political commentator at the same time. So you know how it is. Thank you for the $5. All right, Real Texan Politics for $10. Thank you very much. Says, who are the brave Gen Z Republicans willing to step up and take on the important task of violently shaking and screaming alone in their cars while filming a TikTok like Dabrowski and Harry Sisson, which is the other guy. Yeah, we don't have him. Where's our screaming crazy guy? No, I mean, in all seriousness, we don't need them to be screaming in a car. But it is true. We could use some more like TikTok style influencers, right? And I try my best, obviously. I try to, like, fill those shoes, you know. At least I sometimes make content that appeals to the youth or whatever, which I want to start doing more, in all honesty. Because I know most of my content is just political commentary, right? All ages, whatever. But, you know, I feel like once in a while, I want to do more like red pill style content that sort of speaks to issues in the youths, right? And kind of reaches in a style to them more directly. I don't know, but it is true. We need people like that. Now, they don't need to be like Dash, where they're like, don't you know Republicans are going to kill all the kids? Ah! You don't need that. But we do need, I think, sensible, rational people in our generation on to speak, to kind of do this influencer thing, obviously, right? Now, I actually think it would be good if they are more level-headed than Dash the Progosky! Oh, I'm a theater kid and I can't believe you voted Republican! And I don't know why he's Mickey Mouse all of a sudden. I'm a theater kid and I can't believe you voted Republican! And don't you know you're killing kids when you vote Republican? You know, we don't need that, but actually, if we can contrast that, think about it. Their side has Dash, Mr. And then we have just sensible Mr. I'm going to speak facts to my generation. It's actually a good contrast, in my opinion. So, I mean, yeah, we do, though. It is true. We do need kind of an influencer army on our side, in my opinion. And this is very real. But again, if you want to support tonight, dono links are there. Super chats are open. And I'm reading them right now. Rowley Gonzalez for $2 says, they make my skin crawl because they are so fake. 07. 07 to you too, Rowley Gonzalez. What do you mean? What do you mean? You're telling me this is not a real person?
This is a message to all the Republicans funded by the NRA, and this was inspired by a fantastic paper written by Chloe.
Wait.
But you do not understand. We are no longer watching. We are now voting.
Rowley, are you telling me that's not a real person? Are you telling me that that's not authentic? I think you're just a bigot, bro. I don't think you get it. Look at him. He's... Oh my God! I can't believe you voted Republican!
We are now in the streets, and I would be scared. Your time has come, and 2024 will be ugly. We are over this.
Sir, this is a McDonald's. Can you please stop yelling at me?
Martin was a 14-year-old boy at Stoneman Douglas High School. He wanted to grow up and be in the Navy. He got shot and killed. You took away his right to be safe in school and grow up with life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And I promise you, you should be scared for 2024 because we are coming. We are coming.
We are coming! We're coming, don't you know? We're coming! You better watch out, Republicans! Why is he sitting in the driving seat? There's no way he's old enough to drive. Thank you for the 50 Swedish, whatever your guys' currency are. Mr. Rat, I appreciate it. Thank you, Rowley, by the way, for the donation. And thank you, Real Text and Politics. God bless you guys. Appreciate the support.
Donald Trump, the disgrace.
This is a message to all the Republicans funded by the NRA, and this was inspired by a fantastic paper written by...
He looks old enough. He's not mentally old enough, but yeah, I'd have to imagine he's not the best driver. But it is true. He's here. Here he is in his mom's car. But you know, that's a funny joke to make. But I virtually guarantee you, this is his car, and he bought it himself because they're paying well. From all accounts, this whole like Democrat shill thing, it pays quite well, right? There's an incentive on that front for them to do it. Whereas, you know, our party, look at me. I'm trying to do the Gen Z conservative thing. What do I have to do? I have to like hustle people for super chats. Hey, if you guys want to support tonight, send it. You know, I'm not financed. Okay, where's my Trump money? Where's my Teal money? Okay, come on. You know. But no, in all seriousness, this is real. This is the dynamic, though. It's true, right? What does a Gen Z conservative commentator have to do? Just try to raise grassroots, whatever. They are just like, hey, we'll pay you, we'll buy you a freaking car to just scream about, oh my God, gun control, you can. So, all right, Burgundy Blue for $2. Thank you very much. Says Gen Z liberal TikTok cringe. We are blank. It is so true. That's what they do. That's what they do. Burgundy Blue for $10. Thank you very much. Says Vince, I'm a true conservative. I'll never stop donating on YouTube, no matter how inefficient. It's not just about the inefficiencies. It's taxes. Okay, listen, conservative man. Okay, you're getting taxed 30% to donate on YouTube. Also, next time you do a member stream, you should react to the right-wing what if alt history video brought up yesterday. This is so true, Burgundy Blue. We could do a members block tonight if you want. How many members do we have in the chat? Because I know it's been a very inconsistent past few weeks content-wise, and now I'm a little bit more free and want to get caught up. But thank you for the $10, Burgundy Blue. I appreciate it. And again, if you guys want to support tonight, feel free to send them in as super chats. We're reading them now. Ricky was here. First super chat from Ricky was here says, Trump on podcasts like Full Send is a good move. Absolutely. Absolutely a good move. He was on Full Send, Nelk Boys, all that stuff. It is real. It is real. Very, very good move on his part. Trump is like an honorary Zoomer. He's one of us at heart. Truly, he is. And he's 78, 77, however old. Oldest candidate in the GOP field. And still the youngest at heart. This is true. You know? And just in fairness, would Ron DeSantis ever go on Full Send? Right? Would the Nelk Boys ever interview him? No. It's just the truth, right? So, this is real. Burgundy Blue for $2 says, he has Joe Brandon, but you have me and Abby. It is so true, Burgundy Blue. Listen, they got Biden money, Soros money, but I have I have mega donor Burgundy Blue and mega donor Abby. And this is so true. Thank you for the $2, Burgundy Blue. All right, let's check. Joanna, can you please let me know if we got any donations on Streamlabs? Let's check. Let's check if we got anything. We did get one 17 minutes ago. All right, here we go. Click to reveal. No username, but they did send in this super chat. All right, let's go.
25 donated $25. I just want to hear Joanna read my message. Hope your day was well.
Thank you, 25, for the 25 big donation from 25. I don't even know who that is, but thank you very much. Thank you, Joanna, for reading the super chat. In fact, if you want to hear it one more time, you said 25. She'll read it twice.
$25.
She's a good secretary like that.
I just want to hear Joanna read my message. Hope your day was well.
Thank you, Joanna. Thank you, dear. Go buy yourself a new purse. Okay, thank you for the $25 big donation from the Anonymous. And yeah, this is true. If you want Joanna to read your message, donate here at the link I'm about to send. Wait, donate here. I just sent one on Streamlabs. I'm not sure if it came through. I probably did. Let's see. It probably just takes a second. Or is this the one? All right, anyways, Abby for $50. Thank you very much. Huge donation in the YouTube chat from Abby. God bless you. Says, I sent a donation on Streamlabs. I'm not sure if it came through. Check out a young conservative Cuban, Daniel D. Martino. Thanks for doing your show. Thank you, Abby, for supporting the show. Mega donor Abby coming in with the super PAC money as usual. We appreciate it. Big donation from Abby. Okay, conservative Cuban Daniel D. Martino. Is he on YouTube? Daniel D. Martino. Daniel D. Martino. I see a Danielle D. Martino. Is that it? I think you misgendered her, Abby. Okay, I subscribed to Daniel D. Martino. Thank you very much for the big support tonight, ladies and gentlemen, and especially mega donor Abby. Okay, Abby, she needs to start her own super PAC. Abby PAC. Okay? My top financier, VinceDao, takes dark money from Abby PAC. Real. I'm bought and paid. I'm bought and paid for by Abby PAC. This is real. This is real. Mega donor Abby. It's so true. But again, folks, if you want Joanna to read your super chats, feel free to send them in over on Streamlabs or on YouTube if you want me to read them. But all right, let's see what else we got going on in the chat. That was me, $25. Well, thank you, Abby. Thank you, Abby PAC. Okay, we need a mega donor trip. Okay, this is what we need. You know how they always, like, they fly out the mega donor, put him in some 5-star hotel? This is what we need. This is what we need. He is a guy. He speaks up about communism. Well, then in that case, I just subscribe to some random girl, but I will write down the name. Real. In fact, you know, a segment I was thinking of doing on the show is, I know there's this lady. I have to look up how to actually pronounce her name. It's a Chinese name. But she's a survivor of the Cultural Revolution. And I've been thinking, I kind of want to interview her on the show because, you know, oftentimes conservatives will make a lot of comparisons between old communist states and what's happening now. And, you know, sometimes it is very accurate. Sometimes it's actually quite a bit different. But the closest thing to what's happening now in our country is akin to a cultural revolution, right? If you look back then, Mao and the CCP already had all of the institutional power. They ran the country. But what did they do? They astroturfed basically this perpetual sense of revolution, a new enemy, whatever. And they kind of declared a crisis. Oh, the party's in danger. And they used this sort of manufactured crisis to wield the youth and to, use them to take out everything that was still old about China. Confucianism, standards, gender roles, whatever. And so it is a very similar kind of situation, and it's not talked about enough, right? Everyone makes very cliche comparisons all the time, but truly what's happening in our country is very akin to that. And so I feel like getting her on the show, I might do that at some point. So Bloxy says, I can't super chat. I want online access to my debit. Well, you just type it in. You just type it in your info. Have you never set that up? Bloxy, you're on your mom's credit debit card, aren't you? Mom, can I super chat the show? Yes, Mom. Yes. I grant permission. Michael says the Cultural Revolution destroyed so many rich historical artifacts. It was a tragic event for our understanding of Chinese history. So true, Michael. But, you could say similar things about nowadays. So it is very real. My grandpa got Mao to sign off on a suggestion to move his province's capital back in the Cultural Revolution. Lizel, I didn't even know you were Chinese. Very interesting. Thanks for the comment. Enclave Nationalist says you should start doing special Friday night streams. Well, over the summer, we might do special Saturday night streams. Should we do that? Sick. Thank you for the $5, by the way. God bless you. Says, should we do that? 6 streams a week? Hypothetically, we could. Right? Every Saturday night is like a gaming stream, chess stream, or we could just do member streams. I don't know. I'll think about it. But over the summer, you thought there's a lot of content now. You've seen nothing yet. Okay, it's coming. The summer of Dao. It is real. It is imminent. Okay. So this is true. Anyways, let me check Streamlabs, see if we got any new donations on there. Joanna, is there anything new? Joanna's telling me, and then there's nothing new. Okay. All right. I need to blow my nose. I forgot to put tissues on the table, which I've been doing because I've been sick. And now we're in trouble. Chat, it is so over. Vince Dow destroyed by congested nose. You probably need your weekends to study. You probably need your weekends to watch Vince Dow. So it's sometimes you got to make a trade deal. What kind of games do you play, Vince? I don't really play any games, but if we're doing a stream based on games, then I try to find something. We usually play Oregon Trail because it's fun, but we could figure out something. Or we could do like a Saturday night talk show. See, I've been wanting to do that, but the problem is I don't have the space. Okay, I'm in my stupid college apartment, and Are there even people I could bring on this show? I mean, there kind of are. There's no big names, but I could at least bring on some people. But it's like, if I had a bigger studio space, like what the KGB boys have, if you guys know them, I would literally, like, every Saturday night, we do, like, a talk show. Like, it'd be fun. It'd be, like, late night, you know? Not exactly, like, late night, like, no, like, live audience, whatever. But that would be so much fun. That would be so much fun, okay? So, real. Dollar for Dollar says, do call-ins. I have a couple of questions. I don't have the tech set up to do call-ins. I mean, I'll try to get on Discord this weekend, but that's not in the cards at the moment. If you have questions, you can ask them to Joanna. You can have Joanna read them out loud, okay? Real Texan Politics says, play the campaigns trail on stream. Well, listen, all right, hold your horses, okay? This has been in the cards. This has been on the cards. We were going to do this. I'm not going to spoil anything else. It's going to happen. Not tonight, but it's going to happen. It's going to happen, okay? You could do the interview online via the stream if you decided to do a talk show. Well, yes, but it's not the same. There's something about being in the same room in real life that just you know what I mean? That it just makes it like better to watch and better content too, you know? We could do that, but also the tech. Okay, historically I've had problems trying to get guest tech to work, so I don't know. Are you going to do another show with the KGB boys over the summer? Hopefully, yes. Hopefully. Well, I want to go to Dallas at some point to like tour, you know, go on the Blaze and all that, and so that's in the cards potentially. So if we do that, yeah, that'll be like a big week of content live from Dallas. No, in fact, when I'm there, I will host my show from their studio. I didn't ask them permission. It's gonna happen. Oop. I didn't ask them permission. It's gonna happen though. It's absolutely gonna happen though. All right. Supreme Leader Admiral Alexander Kolchak for $5. Thank you very much. Says, sorry I couldn't make it earlier. It's no problem. You were at work? Well, there you go. See? My viewers work. Let's go. Proud of it. Proud of you guys. Proud of you guys. But here's $5, Vinny. Thank you very much for the $5. God bless you, man. Appreciate the support. Dollar for Dollar is spamming gorilla emojis. I don't know why. Gorilla mode Vince. What? Why am I in gorilla mode? Because I can't get the tech to work? Is that why? Unless you're like Tim Pool and have your own expensive studio, I don't see that happening. Trust the plan. Why you good emperor doubting me? Just doubting the doubt. Okay. You need a dedicated studio to do in-person interviews, bare minimum. We've had. I just know I don't. I just need more space. Because before the election, we actually did a few streams that were IRL in the same room. We actually did that with my roommate. But the reason it wouldn't work now is because my new lights and all this stuff and camera, it's bigger. And so it takes up too much space. But I could just have someone right here, in theory, or someone like... I'll just have Joanna. You guys don't think Joanna's real. I'll just have her sit right there. We'll put a second camera, you know? And then she'll do her job, of course, reading the super chats. We do have a second camera already that I could just... Oh, it's about to fall. It's about to fall! Joanna, please get my camera. Thank you, Joanna. Thank you. But, real. We could do it. We could do it. It would be tight. It's a very tight setup. Or we could just film in the living room. I don't know. We'll figure out something. I'll think of something. I just want to do it because it'd be fun. So... Mr. Vince, glad to see live. Chimp. So apparently the chimpanzees have figured out how to use super chats or live chat now, which is very interesting. Glad to see you live. Well, good to see you, chimpanzee, Mr. Chimp. You know, that's historic. They're evolving. They're evolving. I don't know if this is true, but I saw a headline once. By the way, get the stream to 100 likes. I saw a headline once that, and I don't know if it was real. It was like one of those things I just saw on Facebook or whatever. Not Facebook, Instagram. But it said that apparently, like, chimpanzees are learning how to use, like, tools and rocks and stones and stuff. Boys, it's coming. Planet of the Apes, okay? Soon they're going to have bow and arrows, all right? And then they're going to be riding on us, and then they're going to take the guns and figure out how to use them, all right? It's Planet of the Apes. Let's go. Omar says, show us Joanna. I cannot her identity is private, okay? I keep the identities of the woman in my life private, okay? But you can hear her voice. You can hear her voice. Do you want to hear her voice? All right. Joanna, please read a donation for me, please.
John donated $25. This is a test donation for $25.
Thank you, Joanna. Thank you, dear. Okay? Show us, Joanna. Why would I... All right, I need to blow my nose. I'll be right back. But why would I expose myself like that? Why would I do such a thing? All right, I'll be right back. Hold on. I'll play you guys. I'll play you guys the intro video while I go blow my nose. It's getting bad. Okay, be right back. See, if Joanna were a good secretary, she is a good secretary. If she were a perfect secretary,
It's a message to all the Republicans funded by the...
she would bring the tissues to my desk, okay? But instead she's like, no, that's not in the contract. That's not in the job description. Man, I might as well start calling you a personal assistant at that point. And what's next? Won't bring me Kleenex. What's next? You can't call me a secretary. I'm a personal assistant. I'm an office assistant. Okay, secretary. Anyways, let's check for more super chats. Enclave Nationalist for $20. Thank you very much. Enclave Nationalist says, I saw the new Mario movie a few weeks ago. I still have not seen that. I have not seen the Mario movie. Actually, in VinceDao fashion, I probably will just never end up seeing it because people are actually saying, oh, watch it, it's good. And then I end up just like never watching it. But thank you very much. Enclave Nationalist says, I saw the new Mario movie a few weeks ago. I'll give it something like a 9 out of 10. A week ago, I bought the copy of the original Super Mario Bros. Movie on DVD. I thought it was bad, but it wasn't one of the worst movies ever made. Well, there you go. There you go. Should I watch the Mario movie, chat? Should I watch it? Should I watch the Mario movie? Let me know. Let me know. I've not seen it. Not seen it. I need someone to go with. That's the thing. All right. Who would I even watch the Mario movie with? Gotta find a date. See, Joanna is all like, oh no, that's unprofessional. To keep it in work. Lame. At least she does a good job reading the super chats. But it's Abby says it's not that great. Very interesting. Daniel McQuaid for $2.79 Canadian dollars says, Canada is a failed state. Love your show, Vince. Love you too, Daniel McQuaid. It is true. Canada, I've said this before, and it never resonates with people, but it's true. Canada is one of the more, like, in my opinion, authoritarian countries, frankly, in the world, right? We always talk about, oh, this country's dictatorship, that country... What about Canada? And a lot of these EU countries too. Like, you can't even criticize transgenderism and all this stuff. So it is true. Thank you for the $2.79 Canadian Daniel McQuaid. Keep it up, Canadian Patriots. Move to Alberta or something. That's the cool part, right? But praying for you guys, rooting for you guys. For real, for real. True, true, true. Dollar for Dollar says, take Brett Cooper to the movies. That's funny. I feel like she's the most frequently, I think we are the most frequently like shipped couple by internet people. This is very real. Many such cases. I'm pretty sure she's like 5 years older than me. Not 5. She is older than me. No, because I remember, because we filmed something for like, it was a pilot, whatever, for PragerU back when I was in high school, and she was about to graduate from UCLA. Fun fact. See, I knew her before she was, you know, one of the most famous people in the sphere. But real. Let's see. Andrew Mills says, is it really that good, or is it good due to your low standards we have these days? Oh, talking about the movie? Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen the movie. Dollar for $2 says, take Brett Cooper to get some Jerry's pizza. I'll think about it. I'll think about it. Dollar for dollar. I'll send her a text. Okay. This is D-Cot. Andrew Mills says she's 21. No way she's 21. How could she be 21? She was like, I swear she was about to like graduate from UCLA when I was in high school. I swear I remember that. She's 21? Why did I think she was like 24? Is that real? I'm questioning these sources. I don't know if that's true. But okay. Let me ask Joanna. Any super chats there? We need to engage Joanna more. All right, we need to make her more active in the stream. All right, nothing on there. But we also have, look at this. Hold on. We also have her set up to do other stuff. Now, I have not tested out the other stuff, but apparently she can read like new subscribers. Oh wait, no, I turned it off. That's just noise. See, okay, but you can like change the sound effects and the thing. So I'm thinking when we should change it to where the sound effect is like Trump saying I'm really rich. Like I want to do that. I'm really rich every time we get a dono on Streamlabs. Now the question is, should we keep the dinosaur? Because I feel like the dinosaur is iconic. I don't know what about it. Like look at him. It's a T-Rex, okay?
John donated $22.
Yeah.
This is a test donation for $22.
It's a T-Rex, okay? Oh, T-Rexes aren't even real. The dinosaurs are fake. Clearly not. Look at that. They're real here. T-Rex isn't real? Yeah, well, I made it real. It is now real on this show, okay? You are welcome. You're welcome, Jurassic. This is Jurassic Park in real life. They weren't even real animals, and I made them real. So there you go. Zachary for $5, thank you very much, says Streamlabs not working for me. Sorry to hear that. Some such cases, all right? Very unfortunate. But he says, hey, Joanna, looking good. Want to go out over the weekend? Yes, I'm lonely enough to date an AI secretary. You listen, okay? I don't know if I can endorse this. I gotta see the credentials. I gotta see the credentials. All right. Thank you for the $5. Actually, Zachary is cool. Okay. I reluctantly give you permission to date my AI secretary. Okay. I reluctantly give you this permission. But sorry, Streamlabs is not working. Yeah, it does that sometimes. Try changing browsers or whatever, but you know. I'll talk to you. I'll ask Joanna. Joanna, what do you think?
John donated $62. This is a test donation for $62.
Sorry, she's kind of stupid. She's kind of a stupid woman sometimes. So she just you know, that's not what I asked you, Joanna, but okay. Good to know. Enclave Nationalist for $10, thank you very much, says, the worst movie I have ever seen is called Disaster Movie. Are you serious? It's just called Disaster. There's a movie just called Disaster Movie? That is so funny. The second and third worst movies ever made were made by the same people, which were called Epic Movie and Meet the Spartans. Are these like funny movies? Are these like they sound like parody movies? Are they real? They sound like parody movies. I gotta look into this. Let's see. All right, let's see. Disaster Movie. Is that actually a real thing? It is. Disaster movie. Unrated. It has 3 sexually posing women on the cover. Cataclysmic edition. This movie does look pretty bad. The third and worst were Epic Movie. So there's a movie just called Epic Movie. Who is making these movies? Epic Movie looks like it's in the same chain. So let me get this straight. You saw Disaster Movie. You're like, this is the worst thing I've ever seen. And then you watched the prequel or whatever this is. And then Meet the Spartans. What is Meet the Spartans? Very interesting. All of these have a girl posed in the same way. The old early 2000s suggestive female pose. But all right. Thank you for the $10, Enclave Nationalist. I might have to hate watch them at some point. They look so bad that I feel like it'd be funny. But thank you for the $10. Appreciate it very much. Andrew Mills says Vince out of context. We need to bring back Vince out of context. I gave a lot of out of context things on this stream, and people weren't even paying attention. The whole, imitating Harry thing. That's that endless content. So anyone who wants to start the Instagram page, there was one. The guy is too busy with school. So anyone wants to start any Instagram fan pages, I have a big Instagram. People don't know this probably on YouTube. I have like a huge Instagram account that's bigger than this channel and gets way better engagement than this channel. So if you ever want to start out of context page, fan page, I'm right there. I'll chill it on the story and it'll get like thousands of views like immediately. So anyone who wants to get on the Instagram game, we could do it. But all right, reading your super chats for the next 25 more minutes here. So feel free to send them in. And if you want Joanna to read them, let me put the link in again. If it's working, hopefully Streamlabs is working. I know some people say it's glitchy. It was glitchy for me earlier too, but it says it's working now. Donate here if you want Joanna to read. Can't believe Zachary's trying to rizz up my AI secretary. Sorry, my real secretary. Sorry, 100% real. I'm not speciest. Am I speciest? No. Good Emperor says, I strongly disagree with Vince's take on biology, if I'm even understanding it correctly. Well, I was joking about dinosaurs not existing. I actually do believe dinosaurs were real. I just think that, they're probably not what we think they are, because scientists just don't know what the heck they're ever talking about. And so I don't know if I necessarily believe that the T-Rex in its built, cliche way was real, And this has happened many times. Like, they put together the fossil totally wrong, whatever. But I do think dinosaurs or whatever bones we're finding are real. I just think that, I personally think that they once walked with humans because, I believe the Bible. They could have been animals washed away by the flood. They could be Nephilim. They could be Nephilim for all we know. That is a possibility. The bones we call dinosaurs are just Nephilim. Who knows? But I'm not like that schizo where I think the bones are fake. I think they're real bones of something. I just don't agree with the whole age of the earth kind of thing. So dinosaurs are described in Job 40. Yeah, exactly. Modern paleontologists think the T-Rex was feathered. Yeah, this is what they say, and then all the it's just a bunch of whatever. It's like it's all ridiculous. Like, they don't know what they're even talking about. They don't know what they're talking about, But and honestly, I don't view it as a serious issue. If you agree with them on the age of the earth and the timeline of history, fine. Of natural history, I should say, fine. But my whole thing is this. I don't have enough faith in scientists to really know or care that they have aged the earth correctly or they have this whole evolutionary timeline figured out. And so, as a Christian, I just more so look at it like, well, if the Bible says that, then I might as well just assume that it, take that at face value, right? Take that, in line with my faith, because I don't, like I said, the scientists, they've destroyed their credibility enough in my eyes. They never have a clue what they're talking about. So what reason do I really have to trust that over my own faith? Evolution, and we started from some bacteria thing, and then we evolved over 4.5 billion years. Did we? You know that for sure? Maybe they do, but they're the same people who were like, you need to, no, don't wear a mask. No, now wear a mask. No, now. It's fun. I mean, what can I say? It is fun to deny science. It's one of my favorite pastimes. One of my favorite American pastimes is denying science, okay? And this is true. And it's funny because part of the reason why I do it, partially, other reasons, but part of the reason I partially do it is because it's just so fun. It's so fun. People get so mad when you just look them in the eyes and say, no, I don't think evolution is real. Like, they're like, they get more mad than a Christian ever does when you say something blasphemous, right? They are up enraged when you tell some science person, actually, I don't think evolution is real. Actually, I don't think that the Earth is 4.5 billion years old. Now, again, I do think dinosaurs in some form were real, but it is even funnier to say that dinosaurs never existed. It's fun. It's fun. They're like religiously upset whenever you do that. And so I just love to do it. I just love to do it. Right? I think it's a pretty serious issue, to be honest. It gives the scientists way too much credibility, which they don't remotely deserve. Well, yeah, I do think on a bigger scale, it is an issue. And I think the reason why evolution was... You kind of go back and look at the history of this, right? We always talk about the prayer in school thing in the 1960s, which is a big thing. But actually, back in the early 1900s and around the 1920s, there was a big clash at the time, and this is not very often talked about by the current American conservatives. Like, we talk a lot about the whole, prayer in school thing in the 60s, but in the late 1910s and through the 1920s, there was this big clash between the progressives and the Christian, old school Christian conservative, I don't know if you even want to say conservative back then, just Christian traditionalists, over the issue of teaching evolution in schools, right? And there's this big, very famous lawsuit where, the state of Tennessee had banned teaching evolution in schools, and this like secular evolutionary teacher was teaching it, and then there's a big lawsuit. But anyways, long story short, the point being that if you want to talk about sort of the liberal, atheist, secular, progressive, whatever push in the school system, and to take Christian influence out of the school system, it didn't actually start in the 60s with the school prayer thing. It started in the 20s with the evolution thing, right? And this is something we don't very often talk about as a movement. But and then when I look at it, I genuinely think part of the reason why the left was so, like, they saw evolution as such an important issue back then was not because of science, because who actually cares? No, it's because they did know to some degree that, yes, there are ways that you can be a Christian and, I suppose, philosophically reconcile evolution, I suppose. But they knew that overall, teaching this as the origin of species and the origins of life would discredit Christianity, right, in sort of in public life. And so if you want to talk about, prayer in school, that's obviously a big thing. But if you want to talk about the full history of like the secular war against Christianity in America, it didn't start with prayer in school. It started in the 20s and 1910s with evolution. And this is not very often talked about, but it's true. Genesis literally says God created mankind before Adam and Eve. No, it says God created the animals and the beasts of the earth before Adam and Eve. It doesn't say God created mankind before Adam and Eve. I don't know what you're referring to there. But it is true, right? But that's in terms of days, right? So yes, this is why I say, like, you can technically be a Christian and believe in evolution. I'm not saying you're not, like, I'm not saying it's heresy or whatever to believe in it, because you can't say, oh, well, the day thing in Genesis is kind of like metaphorical or figurative, whatever. Then you could say, well, evolution suggests that man evolved, you know, Homo sapiens evolved at this point in natural history when animals had already been around for that point in natural history. I mean, yeah, you could say, oh, that's what the days in Genesis mean. But me also, I'm just like, well, who cares? You know, like for the reasons I said before, because I just don't really trust the scientists at all, I have no reason to say, well, let me add this like figurative, metaphorical whateverness to my interpretation of scripture because some dork scientist said so. You know, I'm just like, well, maybe that's true, maybe it's not. It doesn't change, in my view, whether or not I get to heaven. And it doesn't change really life on earth either, in many ways, right? What difference does it make in my life whether I believe the earth is 6,000 or 4.5 billion years old? You know? It's not like I'm denying medical treatment or whatever it is, right? So, literally the first chapter before the creation of the garden. Okay, let's open Genesis. I don't know what you're talking about. I searched up Genesis and it just shows me Genesis and motor. It says that, yes, the animals, the beasts of the earth were created the day before, right? Yes. But I don't know where you're getting mankind, like Adam and Eve were the first humans. Where are you getting in scripture that mankind was around before Adam and Eve? Can you give me the verse? Chapter and verse? No, but like... I don't know what you're talking about. I think you're misinterpreting that. Adam and Eve were the first humans. I don't know what. I think you're mistaking it for, yes, the animals in Genesis were created before humanity. Agent 47 says, do you believe that other animals and plants evolve? Well, I believe in microevolution, right? In the sense that, yes, like genetic trends between species will create changes over time. You know, natural selection to a degree is a true rule of nature that you can observe. But I don't believe in, macroevolution, right? The idea that birds are descended from dinosaurs. Like I don't believe that, or that human beings are descended from monkeys. I don't believe that. I do believe that species will change and variate over time, but I don't believe in this timeline of how this evolved from that or this, you know. So let's see what else we got here. By the way, we got 13 minutes left, so any last call for super chats, including with Joanna. Let me see. Did anyone tip Joanna? By the way, Zachary, just information for you. Joanna keeps part of the tips when we get donos on there because, you know, gotta pay her something, you know. So like, Vince, you don't pay me enough. Listen, sweetheart. you pay what you deserve. It's so true. Okay. Donate. Try looking at Genesis 1:27. Okay. Genesis 1:27. Okay, so God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him. Male and female, he created them. That's Genesis 1:27. Where are you getting in that mankind existed before? God created man in his own image. As in God's image, yes. In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them. I mean, yeah, but where are you getting from that mankind was around before Adam and Eve? I don't see the explanation there. Good Emperor said this was before the garden. Well, I mean, that's irrelevant as to whether or not Adam and Eve were the first humans. So your basic claim was that Adam and Eve, mankind was around before Adam and Eve. We're looking for the proof of that in Scripture. That's what I'm asking for. Not that, that Garden of Eden came later. Okay, fine. I'm saying that, I don't know. I mean, I'll look into it. I'll look into it, but I'm pretty sure it's a misreading of Scripture to say that Adam and Eve were not the first humans. So I just don't know where that comes from. If the order of events matters and you take a literal interpretation, then how does this make sense? What do you mean, how does it make sense? I don't know what you're specifically getting at, because it doesn't change the fact that Adam is the first human. Like that's what we're debating here. Paul even says as much regarding Adam. Yeah, correct. Like I don't. We have it on the table. I think what you're trying to say is that, oh, well, it's not, you're trying to read it as being totally chronological, right? But I don't read it as being at that at all. It's just, it's, because also you have to understand it's being interpreted from, it's being, not, I mean, interpreted, translated from ancient text. I think it's just, when talking about the creation of Adam, it's talking about, it's basically expanding on what was said in chapter 1, in chapter 2, right? And someone said, yeah, it's like a different perspective. It's not saying, you know what I mean? It's not like, it's not trying to tell one story continuously. I think you're misreading that. It's not a chronological thing. It's not, right? It's that the second chapter expands more on the creation of man and woman than the first chapter. I think that's what it's saying. It's not saying that mankind was around before Adam. In fact, I'm pretty sure that the Bible explicitly says at different points that Adam is the first human, right? That Adam is the first man. You know? So you can read into, oh, well, it talked about, in chapter 1, it talked about this before that, but there's no suggestion that the whole thing is supposed to be chronological, you know? So, let's see. Generations. I mean, I'll look. I don't have the exact whole explanation for you, but that's what it seems to be saying, in my opinion. So, because I think the verse you're bringing up is just a principle, right? It's a statement of, this is what is true, right? God made man in his image. You know what I mean? And I know sometimes that can be confusing in the Bible because it's interpreted from like ancient, either Hebrew or Greek, but still the kind of ancient text, and so sometimes it doesn't write in the same way as we would sort of think. But what it says is, okay, so God created man in his image, in the image of God, you know, but chapter 2 kind of goes into, I think, just giving more detail to creation. I don't think it's saying that that mankind was around before Adam, if that makes sense, right? I think you're just misreading that. Adam is called the first Adam for a reason. And like I said, I'm pretty sure that the New Testament too affirms that, like, yes, Adam was the first human. I think you're just misreading the way that is kind of in the Bible, which I see what you're saying. What he's basically saying is, well, there's this verse about how God created man in his image before Adam is introduced kind of in the story, chapter 1 versus chapter 2. But what I'm saying is that chapter 2 is basically just expanding on that detail of chapter 1. It's not like a chronological thing. He made man in his image and then he made Adam. It's that the second kind of part is explaining that principle, the first part, or how it's telling the story of how God made man in his own image, right? And yeah, Sandra Maya, exactly. Not everything that happens in chronological order throughout the Old Testament, right? And so, yeah, I get what he's saying, though, because if you're reading it in the 21st century, the way we kind of write stuff, it is kind of confusing if you don't have any of the context there. But it is important to understand. I mean, the rest of the Bible affirms, and all of ancient Jewish tradition always affirmed, yes, God, Adam and Eve are the first humans. Yeah, that's the beginning of mankind. There was no humanity before that. And like other people are pointing out in chat, there's plenty of other cases in the later aspects of the Bible, later books, probably in Genesis itself too, that support that this is what they meant. As Liesel Egfried points out, yeah, the first man is of the earth, the second man is... So there you go, right? Scripture is best interpreted with Scripture. Exactly. Yeah, chapter 2 is a more in-depth look at man. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. So, all right, anyways, last call for super chats here. 4 or 5 more minutes, and then we'll call it a night. We'll probably do a members block tomorrow. Unless you want to do one tonight. Members, do we want to do something tonight? We could. We could play around with Joanna. Not like that. Not like that. I mean the... Okay. Anyways. All right. Any last things on Streamlabs? No. Good Emperor says our chapter 2 is focused on the garden and isn't talking about the whole world at that point. I don't know exactly the context of what you're trying to say there. It doesn't say there's nothing outside of the garden. Well, I mean, okay, fine, but the point we're trying to say, is this true or not true, is, was Adam the first human being? By the way, get the stream to 150 likes. That's the only debate we're having here, is does the Bible say that Adam is the first human being? And I think the scripture is pretty true, pretty clear about that. You know? So, okay, people are saying they want a members block. Okay. Well, before we do that, then I should probably promote the membership to people. Okay. Let me copy paste the link here. All right, we'll do a member block for like an hour. I probably have to order food in them, but that's fine. Okay. Join us on the members block. Cuz I know the content has not been keeping up the way it should. All right, so that's what we'll do. We will do a members block on the show tonight, so join us if you want to come hang out, have fun, maybe play some games on the members block. So just join. I put the link in the chat. In fact, I'll pin it for you guys. Okay. I pinned it there, so join us on the members block if you would like, if you'd like to continue whatever discussion, hang out here. Join us there. And we got one last super chat from Burgundy Blue for $2. Says, let's do a members only stream if you're up for it. All right, let's do it. Sure. All right, guys. Well, with that said, thank you to everyone who tuned in tonight. Be sure to join us tomorrow for another episode of the show at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Hopefully it's a better show. Or at least it starts better. I was so unnerved by the beginning of the show that maybe it's in my head. I don't know if the episode actually sucked. In my mind, it did. But all right, guys, thank you to everyone who tuned in. Be sure to join us on the members block if you want to continue the stream. Again, just pinned a link, or it's also in the description. Become any tier of the channel membership. We'll do a members block imminently here. But all right, ladies and gentlemen, if I don't see you on the members block, thank you to everyone who tuned in. See you tomorrow night. Alpha moves only. God bless and peace. All right, Enclave, I will do that on the members block.